question to you is, when we look up for the map of India, there is so much of distortion, and not only in media outlets, but also at government level of certain countries, at military level of certain countries. Do you think that India needs to start this sort of a campaign for countries to understand that this is an integral part of India? Maharaja Hari Singh handed over Kashmir and integrated, acceded it to the dominion of India. So do you think that we need to have this some sort of diplomacy going on in that sector also, for countries to understand and recognize POK as an integral part of India?
No, but there is no doubt that, the whole world knows that Pakistan invaded initially through raiders and directly through forces, J&K, which had acceded to India. But we need to also flag 4 or 5 points here. Number one, Jammu and Kashmir acceded to India subject to Article 370. Now, integration is emotional. Integration is not a policy measure. The people of Jammu and Kashmir must feel that they are a part of India, and they must feel that in their hearts and minds. Unfortunately, this may be a perspective different from many people in India. Unfortunately, the decision to unilaterally remove Article 370 against the wishes of the people of India. You're talking about Kashmir being an integral part of India. The Kashmiris say we are an integral part of India. Kashmir's constitution, Article 1 of J&K's constitution, which has been now abolished on 5th of August 2019, says Jammu and Kashmir is a state of the Indian Union. These are the people of India, J&K, who are saying it. But unfortunately, whatever was promised to the J&K people, especially the Kashmiris, there were attempts, it's not just current dispensation from 2014, but even earlier, through what I would call a quad. You puppetize the regime in J&K. How did you do that? Through massive rigging of election. After the arrest of Sheikh Abdullah in 1953, 9th of August, all elections were rigged until 1997, when Farooq Abdullah came back to power after that horrible insurgency which took so many lives, 40, 50,000 lives, whether of terrorists, whether of civilians, whether of our security forces. What was that? We can't brush away what we went through from 1990, the tragedy of the Kashmiri Pandits. I'm a Kashmiri Pandit. 3 lakh people are refugees in their own country. Why? And what have we done about them? This is a 35-year-old story. So it's a very complex issue. The third is that, fine, now you were moving forward. The separatism had gone out. People began to see the power of the Indian rupee, the size of the Indian market, of which they were a part. Not that Kashmiris never felt themselves as part. But then targeting of Kashmiri students in colleges and universities everywhere in India as a result of Article 370 abrogation, thereafter denial of statehood. There is no, I can understand, okay, it is an ideological position of this ruling party, it has the majority, takes a view and says, okay, we will abolish Article 70. You may have a ruling party 4 years from now or 5 years from now, which may say, sorry, we will revert to 370 being an article of the Constitution. That can also happen. We are a democracy. But what is permanent is democracy, federalism, not doing anything to a people of 14 million people are residents of state of J&K. They must be consulted before you take a radical step like that. And that is what Pakistan has exploited. That is why the international understanding of Jammu and Kashmir, your words and your question, that is why that has happened. There is less understanding because the whole world has seen that this was not something India should have done. consultation process, but they're not saying it openly. That's another point, because that's diplomacy. But if you see the press, you see the international press, the situation on Kashmir, what I have told you, has been addressed in that. Third point, I was talking about those two issues. One was puppetization of regimes. Second was denial of democracy. Because if you rig elections, where is democracy? Third is insurgency resulting out of this as also a stealthy constitutionalism. Because all that had been promised under Article 370 to the people of J&K was gradually clawed out from its moorings. Articles which were not to apply to J&K of the Indian Constitution actually applied to J&K. That created this whole impulse of what could be termed, for want of a better word, separatism. But that separatism is also gone. After all, don't forget, we've just had elections in 2024, and you have a ruling party, the National Conference, come in with nearly 41 out of 90 seats, whereas the ruling dispensation at the center, that has only 28 seats in that state. And rightfully, the National Conference formed the government. But what is the point of that government, which is supposedly meeting the aspirations of people of J&K who have voted them, being unable to do anything for them because this dual structure of a union territory with law and order and major things lying with the Lieutenant Governor, as conveyed by the ruling dispensation at the center, it's creating new resentment. And I'm not hesitating to say it in front of you, Hina, for your viewers. There is new resentment in J&K, particularly among the youth. They feel humiliated. They feel they've been denied their freedoms and rights to democracy, rights to protest. The media is not free. So it will take us a while. So what is it? I'm not ending on a grim note. I want to convey through yourself, to your viewers, that the government of India needs to be more proactive, more creative, more imaginative, and more democratic, not just in terms of what the center does in the rest of India, but also what the center's policy are in Jammu and Kashmir. Restoration of the statehood of J&K should be the highest priority, because there has been no major setback to security situation in J&K as a result of coming in of a democratic party duly elected by people, being in power. So I have tried my best to explain to you how the J&K issue is an extremely complex issue. It will need support of the people of J&K. It will need an imaginative policy by the center and the rest of Indian people, for whom Kashmir is theirs. Kashmir is not just territory. Kashmir is also people of Kashmir. And you know how they're all over. You go to any corner of India, there's always a Kashmiri present. Either a carpet seller, a papier-mâché seller, or a hotel, or business. It's all in their hands. So they're so much a part of us, as you rightly said, integral part of India. But they must be emotionally and psychologically made to feel an integral part.